Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Dray Way. We are just 10 days away from the election. 10 days. This is the 10-day countdown. So get ready. We're going to count everything down. But before we do, I want to have a little conversation with you guys. And I want to have a conversation with the guys because I think it's a conversation we need to have. I think it's something that we need to talk about. So before I even get started today, I want to reach out and talk to the men. And I want to talk to the men, and I say men because what is at stake in this election is extremely important. And when I say it's extremely important, because what's on the ticket this time is so blatantly obvious. And it's the whole reason why a lot of women are stepping up to vote. But it's not just the responsibility of women to step up and do the right thing. Because on the ballot around the country is a woman's reproductive rights, is a woman's health care, bodily autonomy rights. And I'm talking to you men out there because I want you to understand this. All of us have a mother. All of us do. Right? Would you let anyone touch your mother? Many of us have sisters, daughters, don't we? Would you let anyone touch or harm them? If you're a true man, you would step up and say, absolutely not. You're not touching my daughter. You're not touching my sister. You're not touching my mother. But that's what's at stake in this election, guys. That's what's at stake. You wouldn't let anyone harm them. You wouldn't let anyone just walk up and hurt them. Then don't allow them to have different rights in this country. Don't let it happen. And that's what we're doing by standing on the sidelines going, oh, this is a woman problem. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not if you're a man. It's not just their problem. It's your problem too. Because this is America. We should all have the exact same rights. Your rights shouldn't change simply because you're driving in a car and you go across state lines. Just stop for a minute. Just stop for 1 minute and think about this. How would you like it if you're driving somewhere and your personal health, the amount of care you would be allowed to receive depends on which state you're in at the moment your car broke down or that you had a health crisis? Well, what state am I in? Can you imagine thinking about that? Because I want you to understand something. Have you ever stopped and thought about what a woman thinks and feels each day? How a woman actually goes through her life every day? Have you ever thought about it? Let me give you just a little glimpse. Women have to decide where they're going to go, how they're going to go, where they're going to park. They make up all these decisions. How am I going to dress for where I'm going? Am I going to dress a certain way so I don't attract weirdos? Am I going to have to get gas? Do I have to actually put myself out there? Where am I going to park where I'm safe? Oh, I'm not going to shop there. They have an under garage. Yeah, I can't park there. Women go through this each and every day. Things you never have to go through. You want to know why? Because every single year, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of women are raped or sexually assaulted every year. So they go through a completely different thought process than what you go through. Completely different. And I want to share with you right now a story I've never talked about. I never even really thought about it until just recently. It took place over 35 years ago. And it happened to someone I worked with. She was a waitress in a club that I worked at. And I noticed that somebody was crying when I walked by the women's bathroom. And so I walked in and I was like, is everybody okay in here? And here's my waitress in tears. So I took her back to my office where she could collect herself. And I said, Terry, what's wrong? And she goes, I'd rather not say. I said, Terry, you know, I know you. You always have a smile on your face. What's going wrong? And she said, Drayton, I'm pregnant. I said, you're pregnant? And she said, yes. I said, does the father know? And that's when she really started to cry. And it took about 15 or 20 minutes, but finally she told me how she got pregnant. It wasn't from a boyfriend. It wasn't from a friend. It was from her brother, her uncle, her mother's brother, who had been sexually assaulting her since she was 14 years old. And even when she told her mother when she was 15, her own mother called her a liar, that she was making up a story. And her brother would never do anything like that. So she never said anything again. And twice a year, the brother would come, her mom's brother would come to visit her. And it happened over and over again. And this time she got pregnant. And I drove her and helped her pay for that abortion. And then I elicited help from some others, and she never went back to that house again. First she did was move in with another waitress. She moved in for 2 weeks, and then all of us pitched in money to get her own apartment. I've never told that story before. You know, to be honest with you, I haven't thought about that story in years. I haven't thought about what took place then. But I want you to stop and think about that. I want you to stop and just know that's not an isolated incident, that this happens to thousands and thousands of women each and every year. And I want to know if it's your sister, if it's your daughter, what are you going to do? What would you do? I want you to think about that before you vote. You're going to be voting in 10 days, or maybe even earlier. And before you do that, I want you to answer the question, what would you do? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would do. Welcome to the Dray Way. I'm very glad you're here. I didn't mean to start off the whole show that way. I mean, 10 days out and everything else, but I just think it's that important. I think it's the kind of thing that we have to have a conversation about, because this election is about two separate ideas, you know, and one party is for women and having the same rights as men, and another party is not. Another party wants to control a woman's body. And I just think it's a conversation that we have to have. I think it's a stark difference between what Democrats want to do for women and what Republicans want to do for women. And I can tell you right now, this is what the election is going to come down to for many people. There are many, many women going into that booth scared and voting scared. And as a man, I'm not voting scared, but I know what the right thing is to do. And I'm happy that you joined me on this. I'm glad you're at the show. I want to also thank you guys for yesterday. Yesterday, The Drayway hit, I think, almost 70,000 people watched the show yesterday. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. And if you expected me to be, a certain way today, I just want you to know it's a 10-day countdown now. We're in the final 10 days. And this election could not be more important. And it could not be more stark for women between one party that trusts them and wants them to have all the body rights that they should have. They should be able to control their own body. And a Republican Party that doesn't want to just control their body, but now they want to get rid of the day after pill. Now they want to go after birth control. Now they want to go after a woman's right to even vote. Yeah, I'm not kidding. So it's never been more blue versus red than it is today. It's never mattered more. And I just want you to really think before you go into the voting booth. I want you to think about everything that's at stake. Look, no matter what you decide to do, it's your right as American to make that choice. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're at the Drayway. We have a lot to talk about today. But I wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to make sure that we understand what's at stake in voting this time. I know there are other issues people are discussing, but at the forefront of this whole thing, it's really about, do you trust women or don't you? If you trust women, you're going to vote for Harris. If you don't, you're going to vote for Donald Trump. Let me know what you think in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. But anyway, welcome to the Drayway. We have more to talk about. Stay right there. So many of you are talking to me about Texas. Texas. What about Texas, Drayton? What's going on with Texas? What about Houston? What about Beyonce? That was explosive. That was unbelievable. And Colin Allred, spectacular. I mean, he's going to be the next senator for the state of Texas. And everybody's asking me, can Texas go blue? Of course it can. Florida can go blue. Texas can go blue. Is the passion there with women? I know in certain states it really is. I'm hoping it is. I'm not in Florida. I'm not in Texas. I can tell you in Las Vegas, women are charged and ready to go to the voting booth, and they are rejecting Republicans. They want to take care of their own bodies. So the question becomes is, how explosive will the women voting be in Texas and Florida? Can they turn blue? Absolutely, they can turn blue. I mean, that turnout yesterday, did you see the energy? Did you see it was just absolutely mind-bending. And here it is, 10 days out for the election, and everyone is talking about in Texas is Colin Allred and Kamala Harris. That's all everyone is talking about. And I think that's fantastic. But it's going to take a huge turnout from Houston, a huge turnout from Austin, a huge turnout from Dallas and San Antonio. And yes, even El Paso, Texas. It's going to take a massive turnout, and it's going to take women and Latinos. If Latinos show up, if women show up, it could happen. Is it likely? I wouldn't say it's likely. But could it happen? Yeah, it could. Because the senator that they're running for the Senate in Texas, Ted Cruz, he's awful. He's terrible. He's about as bad as it gets. And down in Florida, the same thing. Rick Scott, are you kidding me? He looks like the Crypt Keeper. Rick Scott is a horrible individual. He is not a good guy. So you would think he is going to lose. If you have that lousy of a candidate for Senate, and Debbie's got a shot there. She's a good, smart woman. I want her to win. Do we turn another state blue, because North Carolina's going blue. North Carolina has the energy and the power to go blue, and I believe it's going blue. Texas and Florida, it's going to be really, 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 really close. It's going to be really close. Do we edge one out? Do we edge both out? Is it possible that we win all three of those states? North Carolina, Florida, and Texas. It's possible. It really is possible, because the Trump campaign is that awful and Trump is that terrible. I mean, who's voting for this man and why? Why would you vote for this old man, this old misogynist, this old man that treats women like garbage? Why would you vote for him? It's kind of creepy. And speaking of creepy, his running mate, J.D. Vance, please tell me you can't envision him being president of the United States. J.D. Vance, president of the United States? Yeah, that's just crazy talk. That's just crazy talk. But once again, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you. We're 10 days out. Welcome to the Dray Way. Don't go anywhere. I have a last thought. I wanted to leave you with this because today is an important day, because today is Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama in Kalamazoo, Michigan. You do not want to miss this. Anytime you get a chance to see Michelle Obama talk, yeah, that's, you know, if you're into public speaking like I am, if you're a true fan of the art of public speaking, you have to watch Michelle Obama, and you have to take notes. Don't forget to take notes, because you are about to get schooled on absolute perfection. When that woman goes up there, she is going to draw you in. She is going to hook you with a line and leave you with that line. You are going to leave knowing what she wanted you to know and what you wanted to think on the way out. That's how powerful Michelle Obama is. And I just, if you don't do anything else today, I know there's college football on today. I can't wait to watch college football. I'm going to be enjoying the Ohio State Buckeyes run up the score just as much as anybody. But I want you to make sure you see Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama today, because they are going to be absolutely spectacular. Watch and let me know in the comments what you think. Please watch the show, and thanks for being here. Thanks for being at the Dray Way. Can you hear the trash cans down there? Oh my God, the garbage men are going crazy down there. But you are at the Dray Way, 10 days until the election. I can't thank you enough for being here. I can't thank you enough for making yesterday's Dray Way. Almost 70,000 of you saw the Dray Way yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's show, please take a look. And don't forget to check out tomorrow's show, where we will be just 9 days away. Thank you, Mr. Bird. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. The bird wants me to speed it up. But tomorrow, all right, I'm almost done. Tomorrow, just 9 days away. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for the Dray Way. Thanks for everything. I hope to see you tomorrow on the Dray Way. We'll see you later. Shut up next time.